So today marks the start of a new project in the centre of Brighton. We're installing Google Meet video conferencing systems over 3 rooms for an existing client that we installed a Boardroom back in 2022. Since then, they've expanded and they're now moving to a new office. And now we've been tasked the challenge of moving everything over as well as installing 2 more rooms for their arrival back on Monday. Let's see how we get on. On this one, we had to precisely plan our resource to make sure we were complete for Monday morning. The general plan was to decommission the old office, move over to the new office, boardroom install, 2 meeting rooms, and then system test and commission. We're going over to the old site to do the decommission for a system that we only installed 2.5 years ago. That is the nature of audiovisual. When people move to different offices, sometimes you've got to accommodate their requirements. It's a good thing because it's more work for us. We started by doing a quick system test to make sure the AV was functioning as it should before we disconnected it. We then started the decom, packed the hardware away, ready for the move. The rooms were surveyed from a technical standpoint before the install, so we knew all measurements and locations ahead of time. The plan for the boardroom was to install the display on a floor-to-wall stand, which is explained in more detail later on. Fitted the display and it aligned as planned with the wall stand. We were just about on target, ready for another day. It's day 2, it's Saturday, we're cracking on with the boardroom, we're making good progress. Let's see how we get on today. We used the wall recess to fit the Google Meets PC and all the other AV hardware, which worked well as a maintenance hatch. We then started running the cables to the boardroom table, which included Cat6 for the touch panel and HDMI and USB for the laptop inputs. Here we have got a 75-inch interactive TV going on the wall. This TV is 60 kg in weight, so mounting to a single skin plasterboard wall would not have been possible, so that's why we've had to put this stand in, but there was an existing 55-inch recess in the wall, so we've had to use our carpentry skills and build out from the wall to make it secure. We've got the camera bracket at the top with the camera poking forward, coming out a bit further than it usually would be, but we've got a bracket that fits. We've got the soundbar mounted to the TV bracket here, and we've got the cabling over here for all of the video conferencing signals, which are HDMI, USB, and power over Ethernet. Do you want to get your grip first and then I'll get mine? Yeah. All the other lads have gone home and it's just me doing the final bits in the boardroom. I often find that these times are the easiest to get my head into exactly what needs to be done for the next day and just prepare, get ready for what is going to be another day tomorrow. This boardroom is now complete. We've got the mic on, we've got the holes drilled for the grommets in the table, which will bring out the cables nicely for the touch panel, and the customer can bring out their power there as well for any USB charging they might need or laptop charging. And we've finished off all of the connections behind the screen and we're just doing some final tests before the end of the day. We'll be back tomorrow for day 3. For the 2 meeting rooms, the client wanted the same Google Meet system but with 2 displays so they can split between video conference feed and a laptop input. Using the laser, we marked out the positions for the brackets on the walls. Meeting room 2 is well underway. Jack's got the brackets on, he's got the level laser nicely lined out. All of the screens are going to sit nice and flush, dead level. We've got some conduit to run under this section here, which is going to bring up to the screens for power data and provide the containment for all of the cables which are going to go under the floor. With this job, unfortunately, sometimes you just have to run surface mounted trunking. It's not an option to fish cables through the walls just because it's dot and dab. So getting multiple cables through, I think we've got 5 in total, it's just not going to be possible. And we've already got the surface mounted trunking there, so if we can just follow it, make it look neat, we should be good. Follow me to room 3 and I'll show you the progress in there. Jack's getting the measurements aligned according to the drawings. Always do it to the drawing. Once we were happy with the bracket alignment, it was time to start cabling up the Google Meets PC, camera, soundbar and cables to the table. For this part here, originally we were going to come across for the LAN connection, which gives the internet to the Google Meets PC. Sometimes when you're doing the work, you come across better ways of doing things. So rather than doing that, we're going to take a port from the floor and we're going to fish it under there and then bring it up, which removes the need to have a cross section of trunking there. So we're going to test the port now. So we've got that plugged in and then we're going to run over to the cab. Test for continuity. It was patch port number 2, we're plugging in. And it doesn't patch through, unfortunately. So we're gonna have to try another one. So obviously this is a network that wasn't run by us, so we don't know what we're dealing with in terms of how it was cabled and what is no longer in use or what is in use. Rather than using a continuity test, we're gonna test tone it. So I'm gonna plug it into number 2, digital mode, that would do. And then I'm gonna get my toner and we're listening out for this noise on the other end. So we've got our wand, we're just gonna test to see if we can hear it. Just to see if it's here. The plan has not worked, but let's go back to the original plan and we'll put it in the trunking. This is an example of finding what we thought might be a shortcut but actually ended up using more time. In the end, we used the data port at the front and fished it back down the floor and then up one of the conduits to void the cross section. Still a good result in the end. The cabling was then finalised before we started the commissioning process. We finished off on Sunday evening, ready for the handover on Monday morning. We were super pleased with the results on this one, and so was the client.